What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Titan Report game recap versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. My name is Jackson Weber. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to get my takeaways here in just a moment. Talk about some college football today. I know a lot of y'all want to know that. We got some injury updates as well. So we're going to change some things out, and I'm going to give my thoughts on the game. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are doing well on this Sunday, last day in November. So let's get some stats before we get into some games. The Tennessee Titans are officially 0-5 versus AFC South teams so far this year, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time in Titans era that this has happened. They could be 0-6 if they lose to Jacksonville next week. That would be, I'm assuming not next week, in the next on week 18. That would be absolutely insane if they go swept. Let's talk about what I think with Cam Ward, what I think about the Tennessee Titans. They lost 4 out of 5 AFC South games by 21-plus points, ladies and gentlemen. 25-3 was the final today versus Jacksonville. First and foremost, Xavier Restrepo has an ankle injury. Parker Harsey just said this moments ago. He said more tests ahead, but Restrepo's ankle is not broken. That's a good sign. This is a bummer. I hope X is okay. I hope he gets right soon, but I'm not 100% sure if he's going to return and when he's going to return. Cam Ward's comments today on the post-game show says God was with him. He said some nice things about Xavier Sharp right there. His teammate, he said guys encouraging him and guys playing for all of us. I'm just going to say I'm going to give my top 10 things today I took away from the game. Especially number one, that this was a chippy game all the way around. This is a fought hard game from Jacksonville. Jacksonville needed this game because especially now Indianapolis lost, which we'll bring up later on today. But I really felt like this is a game that Jacksonville needed to take care of, especially against AFC South opponent. And definitely I thought Jacksonville came in here and fought. I didn't think they let up anything. Their defense honestly fought. They did not. They made Cam Ward feel under pressure today. They were struggling in the first drive, but they picked things right back up. And shout out to Jacksonville's defense for making everyone on the Titans offense feel uncomfortable today. Number two, it was chippy. It was really, really chippy. There was 2 fights today. One in the fourth quarter, one in the end of the first half, if you guys missed that. Fourth quarter, Julius Chestnut got involved with the punter, and then Mike Brown also got injected as well. Chestnut should have gotten injected, but he did not. Kind of interesting right there. So some little chippy today. And Jeffrey Simmons and Tyjae Spears, they kept talking to each other. They stomped on each other. It was a hard-fought game. Yeah, it was back and forth. It was really, really chippy on both sides of the ball today. A couple fights. Number three, man, you ran the ball finally better, but it didn't execute for you. You finally ran the ball better in the first drive, especially. And the thing with Tony Pollard is we talk about him too, if he's going to be on this team next year or not. When you finally ran that ball better, you had some juice, you had some life. Well, they abandoned that in the later and on because they were down so much. I would have still ran the ball just a little bit, but overall, at the same time, Titans didn't really take care of the ball well. And Tony Pollard didn't really do much after the first quarter, but still, it was really nice to see that. That was a big positive as well. Another thing is my number 4. You go for it on 4th down and 3. I get it. Mike McCoy wants to take the points. You want to take the points. What do you have to lose? Cam Ward also said, what do you have to lose? So at this point, we're 1-10, ladies and gentlemen. The worst case scenario is the Jags are going to get the ball. They're going to go down and go score. Worst case scenario. But my whole thing is you need to keep these drives better, and you just have one of the best drives of the year. Why stop right there? Why stop that momentum? Maybe you get that 4th down conversion, and then boom, you guys get a touchdown out of it, right? I think that's the thing that the Titans, we need to understand Mike McCoy is not going to go for, and that's a big key today. He did that twice, and I really think he should have gone for it right there, in my opinion. Number 5 is, I'm just going to say this, Cam Ward was inconsistent today. He did not have much momentum. He was really uncomfortable outside of the pocket, wherever he was moving. And Jacksonville, like I told you guys earlier to begin with, they did a good job doing that to Cam Ward, and Cam Ward missed a lot of throws to receivers. Manor, he missed a couple times today. They were not on sync the whole entire game. That was unfortunate. You want to see those guys get back to some connection. And he had 5 targets today, only completed 1 of them. That's a big concern, right? So that was also upsetting as well. The route running looked a little concerning. If you guys missed that earlier in the game, they showed a clip and they almost ran into each other. So yeah, that was very concerning. Like I man, Cam Moore, no connection, no offense, got connections as well. Don't like that as well. Number 6, I'm going to tell you all this is the Titans' possession. They're so bad at keeping the defense off the field. The defense got tired today. Especially early on when you took, 3-0 lead, Jacksonville both gets 18 points before half. And, second quarter, they got tired. They're on the field after every single play. You need to make those drives get better. You need to be consistent on third downs. You need to move the ball better. You need somehow, that's the biggest thing going off season is like, hey, how can we move that ball better? And you need to keep that defense off the field as much as you can against Jacksonville. And number 6 is Trevor Lawrence today. Lawrence had a good game, no turnover, especially after having 3 last week. He stepped up today. The running game, they kind of didn't really do so well in the running game today, which they need to look to improve. But I really think Trevor Lawrence really stepped up today for Jacksonville. They need to have that. You need to have that game today with 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville did not turn over the ball. They did not make many mistakes. They did what they needed to do. They're on the road. They're a ton of Jacksonville fans. So Lawrence, shout out to him. He had a really good game today. Number 7, man, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. The offensive line, again, Cam Moore's taking sacks. There's one that should have been thrown earlier. But the other 2, man, he just got totally screwed up on. This offensive line is not good. These guys are not working together. I hate to say it. These guys need to be better. At least two of these guys can be gone next year. At least 2 of these guys can be gone next year. Lloyd Cushenberry and then maybe Kevin Zeitler. Yeah, 3 locked offensive linemen next year for sure. Cushenberry and Zeitler are the only 2 that I don't think are locks at the moment. And the biggest question is if J.C. Latham's going to go to guard. Could J.C. go to guard? That's going to be the biggest thing in the offseason. We're going to talk about that later on, but that could be a big possibility, right? Number 8, man, honestly, these dumb penalties, these dumb penalties, man. This happens all the time. It's frustrating. And my biggest complaint, there are 2 on the refs that are horrible, but the other 8 are unexcusable. That's on coaching, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's on coaching. You gotta stop with those silly penalties to kill the drives, like I just said earlier. It's sloppy. It's sloppy. They embarrassed themselves today. And it was just very upsetting to see that. And number 9, man, I'm just gonna be totally honest with you guys, man. 2 for 12 on third down. We reached the red zone once today. No, like that can't happen, man. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 for 12 on third downs. Big step back. I mean, we talked about this last week. We had so much momentum. Titans were better on third down. Titans were better not good running the ball. Well, they fixed that this week. It just feels like every single week we go fixing one thing, then it goes low. Then we fix another thing. It probably goes low next week. It's just we're not consistent, ladies and gentlemen. That's the biggest frustrating thing I've seen is the Titans need to be consistent, right? And the last thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we've lost 11 straight home games. Whenever the Titans are home, it feels like we're at a disadvantage. Why? Because we can't win a home game. We can't win a home game. Last time I won a home game was against Houston. Excuse me, not even Houston. New England with Gerard Mayo. Okay? It's frustrating. It's irritating. I want to win. I'm tired of losing. I talked about this last show. I'm tired of losing. Right? This is my another thing. Irritating. Frustrating. You got to figure out a way at home. You got to figure out a way to win in front of these fans. These fans aren't even going to show up. You got a brand new stadium there next to you. How are you supposed to expect people to show up if you're not going to win football games, ladies and gentlemen? Those are my takeaways. Those are my 10 takeaways, which I do want to do on the show. We're going to talk about some drives before I get anything else. These Titans drives, man. I'm watching this. I was watching this game. You do a good job getting Trevor off the field. But then, again, they're in that field goal, man. You got to go for it. I'm tired of talking about it. You got to go for it. And then it was all pretty much throughout the game. Jacksonville just killed the time off the clock. Seymour DK fumble. I think that's really cursed the Titans today. I think that was a big problem. So, and then obviously Cam Little got a field goal at halftime off the penalty. Brenton Strange got a touchdown. Jacoby Myers got a touchdown. Titans safety Mike Brown got injected today, like we mentioned. It was just all around sloppy turnovers. Everything just went wrong for this team. You couldn't score more than 3 points, apparently. So you're 1-11 on in the year. Your season's done. You're eliminated. Fourth straight season, you're not going to the playoffs. Frustrating. Very bad month of November. Let's forget about that. Now in December, we face Cleveland next week. Then it's Kansas City. Then it's New Orleans. And then it's the last game, which will be against Jacksonville. So we have 5 more games left, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take care of them. Okay, let's just do what we can. I know I'm missing a team in there, actually. But then again, we got 5 more games left. Let's just take care of this. Let's just end the season. Let's get 2 more wins on this one. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. San Francisco. My apologies. I got San Francisco before Kansas City. Let's just take care of it. I know these next couple weeks are going to be brutal. It's Shadir Sanders versus Cam Ward next week, which we'll bring up in just a moment. You got to take care of these games. You got to at least win 2 more games here. I think in the stretch you could. Maybe Cleveland, you could maybe catch them off guard next week. San Francisco might be a loss. But if you get maybe Cleveland or New Orleans, that'll be perfect right there to end off your season, right? All right, so Cleveland, like we mentioned, Shadir Sanders is starting next week per Kevin Stefanski. We'll talk about that. I'm going to watch film on Shadir Sanders. I'm going to get you guys break down that. Today he had a 149 with a touchdown today for Shadir Sanders. They lose 26-8. So before we talk about NFL scores, we're going to talk about some college football today, and then we're going to head up out of here, and then we'll see y'all on Friday for the show. All right, Lane Kiffin. I think he what a jerk move. First of all, Lane Kiffin, unbelievable. They won on Friday 38-19 versus Mississippi State. He wanted to coach the SEC game. Fortunately, Georgia and Alabama are both in there, and Lane Kiffin will not go in there, right? He said this quote. He said, "I really wish the team best of luck. Wish I was coaching. Wish I was coaching. I hope they should play really well and go to the national championship." That's the biggest. If it's not the biggest, fakest thing y'all have seen, it's the biggest BS appropriate thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Lane Kiffin's all about himself. Not the best dude overall. He's kind of I'm not going to say the word on here. He's kind of a jerk, which is the most appropriate word on here. Man, I don't understand. I guess he preyed on this decision. I guess he says maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. But I think a lot of times you just go prove things right. And first of all, the biggest question is if he's going to recruit well LSU, which LSU really recruits well. He's taking a lot of his coaching staff with him, except at DC. OC is going with him. But I truly think, man, that this is a mistake. I think this is totally a jerk move. I think the momentum for Ole Miss is definitely down now. I don't think they have much momentum. I think this is very traumatizing to the Ole Miss franchise organization. And now you got to move on somehow, and you got to go play on the next couple weeks when the college football playoffs rankings all come out after the SEC championships. That is very concerning for Lane Kiffin. I don't think he made a good move. But, I mean, you're just moving things up. You're finally, I'm telling you guys, this is the first time he's made the playoffs. Ole Miss made the playoffs, and now you're just going to throw it away? Yeah, that's very questionable on that decision. He says the deal's for 7 years, worth about $12 million annually. Bonuses will be there as well. Highest paid coaches in the sport. That's really what it is, guys. It's just money. Anyway, so let's talk about this as well. Let's do break down. I do want to talk about a topic that Jeff Simmons and Cam Ward did talk about. This next Titans head coach, who do I want? Who do I want personally, man? I want a guy who's want to go in there and want to win. I think the Titans need to ace this hire. The Titans need to make sure this is the number one thing this offseason they get an A+ on. I don't think they should bring a college guy. I don't think they should bring a guy who is not been a head coach before. We don't need another Brian Callahan situation. We need somebody who's going to want to come in there, who's going to want to win, who's going to change the culture, be a leadership on and off the field personally, because I think the biggest problem for the Titans is that they have not found that leadership as a head coach. I don't think they've found that guy yet. They have not found that guy since Vrabel's been here. They had a culture when Vrabel was still the head coach. When Vrabel left now, they haven't had a culture, right? So I think the Titans definitely need to get a culture-style head coach. They need sustainability, man. And you know what? It's frustrating because we've had so many coaches changes. It's been very frustrating, right? Coach after coach. I'm tired of the firings. I'm tired of firing people. Bring someone in. Bring someone with experience. I want somebody who's ready to win, who wants to turn this franchise around, who's ready to be patient, because it's going to be patient. You're going to have to be patient with this franchise, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to have a good free agency. You have to spend it wisely. Yes, you're going to make hits and misses, but you're going to have to make some strides in free agency. Titans have not made some strides all year long. It's been upsetting. It's been tough. So I think the Titans need to do with the next head coach is just to find somebody who's sustainability, who wants to win, who's a leader, who they can trust. Boom. All that. I think that's what the Titans need to do at the next head coach position. So currently, not going to break down all the scores right now, but the Rams did lose today, 31-28. Texans did beat the Colts. So now the Colts and now the Jacksonville Jaguars are tied for first place now. Dolphins got a win today. Jets got the win too over Atlanta. Buccaneers got the win over Arizona 2017. Seahawks got the win 26-0. Bills got the win 26-7. Chargers got the win 31-14. The last game, as currently there are no more games at the moment until Broncos and Commanders in just 1 hour. So that's pretty much it on the show. Next, we're going to have Cam Ward and Mike McCoy a couple clips speak with you guys and to show you guys those clips. Until next time, see y'all on Friday for recap versus the Cleveland Browns. Tighten up.
10 penalties, 2 turnovers, some big plays were given up. We weren't very good on third down offensively, that's where we had been better the past couple of weeks. What were we, 2 of something? I think it was 2 of 12, whatever. So that's never going to be good enough. So there's a lot of things. It was a sloppy game all around.
You guys feel like you had them?
Just same stuff that's been happening the whole season, just self-inflicted wounds. Myself on the first 3 out, I need to progress, throw right over the ball. In the second one, probably just step up and run for it. So everything is just self-inflicted. It's been like that the whole year. It's like that today.
I know there's a million things happening around you, but were you less comfortable today than you have been in previous weeks? You look like you were moving around a little more in the pocket out of necessity.
No, just how I felt the pocket at the time. I just think that's just something that I got to continue to harp on myself, get better at each and every day, and then just distribute the ball to my playmakers.
How frustrated, Cam, I guess, as a team, you guys have maybe made some strides in recent weeks, been competitive. Today would seem like a step back. How come you think that was?
I'm big on results, so win-loss is the only thing I care about. Strides, we haven't made any strides. We've got the same outcome for the last couple of weeks, so it's more about just winning a football game now, no matter how it gets done, whether one side of the ball is playing good and the other side isn't. Where special teams wins the game for us, but it comes down to just winning games.
Did you think